Welcome back to Daily DeFi. Today is June 9th of 2021. Today we'll be covering Injective Protocol, Strike, and Band. These are really the only decentralized finance tokens that are doing at all gains in the 24-hour time frame, with Bitcoin falling further. Then we're going to be talking about El Salvador moving forward on the Bitcoin law and this Coinbase lawsuit. So let's get right into Defi Pulse and Juicy NFTs. The total value locked in decentralized finance sits at $58.44 billion, just kind of been moving sideways over the past little bit as we've kind of had that massive fall, with the Elon FUD, the Bitcoin Energy FUD, all these different things going on with Bitcoin. A lot of people were like, the Bitcoin conference is what's going to set off this next run. But I honestly thought that Bitcoin conference, at least the clips that came out about it, it's not good for the overall press. You have to understand people, their attention span is tiny, and people see, someone running on stage with the Dogecoin shirt ripping it off, or Max Kaiser screaming, "I'm never selling," or Diamond Hands, these kind of things where it's like, this is a religion. It literally looks like a religion. And I am personally a long-term holder of Bitcoin. I think it's great what it's doing for the world. But the main thing is people don't see the incredibly great conversations that people like Jack Dorsey had, Michael Saylor had. A lot of great people on there had incredible conversations and very, very articulate. But most people don't have the appetite for kind of long form content. Some people do, which is great. I think people like Joe Rogan and kind of larger podcasters have moved that forward. But you have to understand people's attention span is so short. You have to look at the cognitive biases. People have a recency bias. This is something that is very, very important to understand. So Aave dominance, and that's kind of what drove all this. There's kind of this little bit of a W pattern here in the total value locked in, and now we're kind of tapering down. So Aave dominance is at 15.22%, while DeFi Pulse Index is down just 1% on the daily at 333.02. So you can see Aave, Maker, and Compound all kind of consolidating around, although Aave has really kind of taken off. It's quite surprising, actually. Aave was in this third spot for a while, even in the fourth spot for a while, and the Maker used to be that number one, Compound used to be that number one. Moving on to Juicy NFTs, up about 19% on the daily time frame. This has actually held incredibly steady. It's very, very surprising, this volume in NFTs, in my opinion, while everything else is down. It's kind of showing you that at least this market is kind of uncorrelated, right? Because you're purchasing these assets with Ethereum typically. That's, I would say, probably like 90% of NFTs currently are being purchased with Ethereum. Probably more like 98%, to be quite honest. This is quite impressive, to be quite honest, because just a little bit ago, we were just seeing thousands of dollars, like in the 6-5 figures in that area. So CryptoPunk's taking that number one spot pretty much as always. Sandbox lands, God's unchanged, so that's good to see. Moving on to the first article from Decrypt. Coinbase users file a class action over locked accounts. So this is quite interesting what's been going on. Coinbase has this thing, and this part of, I don't really, it's an okay on-ramp. Like, I've helped some family members and friends use, as an on-ramp, potentially use Coinbase because they have, Coinbase Earn, where you can learn about the crypto, watch the quick little videos, and kind of earn free crypto. But the main thing you have to understand is Coinbase is a centralized server and service. But this is the problem with centralized exchanges, is they have all these regulations, and they lock accounts. They make it so you can't transfer your assets out of it. And, it's not your keys, not your crypto. So if you're holding your funds in an exchange, it's not very safe. So Coinbase users are suing the company for locking their accounts for months. They claim that the claims are only allegations, but likely to bring attention to Coinbase's customer service issues. A group of 6 cryptocurrency owners filed a class action lawsuit against Coinbase, claiming the company wrongfully locked them out of their accounts for periods of up to several months. The group is seeking damages from more than $5 million for themselves and any other Coinbase user who registered an account in the last 4 years. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Personally, I have not received any damages. I have not lost any money with Coinbase. I have used them in the past. It's decent for dollar cost averaging, but you have to look at the fees. The fees are incredibly high in Coinbase. So let me know what you think about this. This is quite interesting. So the company faced earlier lawsuits by handling of the Bitcoin Cash fork and its decision over the delisting of XRP. So quite interesting. So no successful lawsuit has hit them, but personally, I don't know the exact details of this. You can check out this article in detail. You can dig through this. But we'll move on to El Salvador and the Bitcoin law will be approved. So this is quite interesting in my opinion. And this was very recently published. So tonight it's supposed to be going through this Bitcoin law. So the president of El Salvador says there's always a 100% chance his bill will make Bitcoin legal tender will pass tonight. So, he announced the Bitcoin conference. There's a lot of news about it. In the case, El Salvador Bitcoin is going to be legal tender, as is the U.S. dollar. So that's quite interesting. So it's not necessarily replacing anything, but it's adding on to it, similar to a side chain in crypto. So the government will be also releasing an official Bitcoin wallet. However, this will not be mandatory. The government intends. So that's cool. That's good to see. Once the government comes out and says, we have the Canadian crypto wallet or the Australian crypto wallet or whatever, the UK crypto wallet, but it's controlled by the government. It's not open source. That's where it's very scary, and that's where if everyone has to do it. I've talked about this in the past, where it's like, okay, you play out this scenario where, let's say we have another pandemic, except it doesn't spread through air, rather it spreads through touch. So touching things back and forth. So if people are using the same ATM or going on the subway and touching the same rails, think about how much the actual fiat currency gets transacted a day, just hand to hand. And this is something that's actually very concerning. Personally, I still like to use cash because it's always so creepy to know that someone's watching all of your transactions on your debit card or on your credit card. It's something that I don't like to do. And typically when I'm in foreign countries, which I spend a lot of time in, currently here in Tbilisi, Georgia, I like to get a nice amount of cash. For example, here it's the lari out of the ATM and just spend it that way. So it's not all tracked. The only tracing is through the ATM. So and it's not even that I'm literally just buying food and stuff, but it's kind of the morals and the ethics of it. So that's the beauty of the crypto space is it's, everything's public, open source on the blockchain, but your name isn't necessarily attached unless you want it to be to your address. So moving on to top decentralized finance tokens, we see pretty much everything just kind of moving sideways, to be quite honest. It's about even. Curve DAO is doing pretty well. OX is doing pretty well, but we're really going to dig into a Band, Strike, and Injective. You see everything else, like I said, just a bit sideways. I think Cody is up a tiny bit. I've been watching Cody. Yeah, let's check this out real quick, and then we'll move on to Band. How far is this retraced? Yeah, so Cody, I was looking for, if we see a further drop, which I think we could in Bitcoin, that I laid out my price target for BTC in previous technical analysis videos. But if we see this kind of fall down to that, right around 13 cents levels, I will be picking up some more Cody. Just same with Polkastarter, Reef, and Injective. So Band protocol, this one has retraced a little bit. It's kind of found this support, which is pretty strong support right here that we have a decent level of support. So right here, I think we'll just be kind of bouncing sideways in these levels once Bitcoin kind of takes off again, which could be quite some time. I definitely think, or it couldn't be. It's all a matter of probabilities. I think we will definitely blast past those highs. So right now it's at $7.52, up about 6% on the daily, about $154 million market cap. That's up about, let's see, volume actually pretty low, $56 million transacted daily, around 9% up on the daily time frame. So Strike STRK. This is rank 189, up about 12% on the daily. This is one that we actually have not talked about. I've been considering doing a deep dive video into this project because I do think what they're building is quite interesting in the decentralized finance space. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see a deep dive video on Strike, because I would be happy to make it. It's a great project. I highly recommend you do your own research into this. Just like everything I talk about on this channel, you got to do your own research. That's why I always have that video link down below in the description. And if you have any questions about individual tokens, by the way, you can either leave it in the comments or hop on over to our Telegram group, which is linked down below in the description. Just like-minded investors over there talking about global investment strategies. So, that's pretty much it for Strike. Really hasn't moved a ton. Overall, this is a relatively new project. It's just basically been consolidating sideways in between that $72 mark and kind of this $30 mark. So decently volatile, but no parabolic runs towards the upside yet, which I think, if we see this bull market continue, which I think we will, Strike could really see that nice rise, especially with the market cap the way it is. So lastly, Injective INJ. This is one of my favorite projects, 149. I've done a lot of videos on this. $8.30, up about 5% on the daily. I've talked about this in the past, but For me, Injective should be around a $2 to $3 billion project, so it has a lot more room to grow from now, and that's in market cap, right? So in market cap, I think it should be $2 to $3 billion. Now, will it be this next year? Who knows? Will it be this 2 years from now? Who knows? Will it be this 3, 4? Next bull run, it's pretty dang likely. This is once people really understand what's going on here with creating these decentralized exchanges where you can have any trading pair you want and basically instant liquidity and incentive for this liquidity for passive income, basically staking it in a pool is huge. So that's basically all for this video. Again, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Join the Telegram group, link down below in the comments. Link down below in the description. That's all for this one. So if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to stay up to date. Like, subscribe button all, invest global, and until next time.